Big Mom meets Big Father in this week's action-packed chapter of One Piece. Get ready for an epic battle of proportions because this week's chapter of One Piece was just a lot of fun. Not only did we delve a little bit more into the backstory of Big Mom and how she formed her crew, but we got to see that Capone has an ability which transforms him into a giant living castle, and he affectionately calls himself Big Father. I think it would have been a lot better if he called himself Big Dad or Big Daddy. Still, it's really awesome. I especially just love, of course, the fact that he is calling himself that in opposition to Big Mom herself. But the most big thing about this chapter is definitely the backstory of Charlotte Lin Lin. First off, there is still one big mystery. We still don't really know what happened to Mother Caramel and all of the children from the Lamb's house. It's still heavily implied that Big Mom did devour all of them, especially considering that she has immediate access to her devil fruit powers. Perhaps if she actually did consume Mother Caramel, she also consumed the power of her devil fruit. And there were two witnesses to this event. One of them was a warrior of Elbaf Kingdom who was so horrified by what he saw, he shit his giant britches and headed back to town. This warrior of the Elbaf Kingdom told all of his followers about the horrors of Lin Lin, and they decided to basically have nothing else to do with her for the remainder of time. They don't even want to refer to her by her actual name. The other witness was a character by the name of Stru Sen, who's a character who has actually already appeared in the series, and he's the head chef of the Big Mom Pirates. In fact, he's the very first member of the Big Mom crew, and he also happens to have one hell of a unique devil fruit ability, where basically he can turn anything into an ingredient. He actually takes out a piece of wood, a log, and cuts it into slices of meat with his devil fruit power, which ensures that he will never go hungry, which makes him sort of the perfect companion for Big Mom. That and the fact that he seems to have some sort of sick, twisted sense of humor when he sees all the horrific things that Big Mom did to Mother Caramel and the children. He decides this seems like the perfect person to team up with, and of course, the Big Mom crew is born. They both have aspirations of transforming the island into the now Whole Cake Island, as well as turning Big Mom's dream into an actual reality by bringing all of these various people and races together under one roof. And we get to see that as the years went on, Big Mom gained this massive reputation as she began to start her pirate crew. She had like a huge bounty. She became so powerful that people believed she was stronger than Cypher Pole, and a legend was officially born. Cut back to the present storyline, and it seems like things are still going according to plan, with Big Mom continuing to flip her shit, and everybody getting ready to fire these big KK launchers directly into Big Mom's big face. This is where things get a little crazy, because Big Mom has become so emotional and so insane with her reverberations and crying that the effects of the KK launcher do jack shit. They don't work at all, and everyone gets in a huge state of panic as they try to run away from Big Mom, who's getting ready to just completely wreck and destroy everything. And even Caesar Clown comes up with this plan where hopefully he's going to be able to just fly up towards all of the allies, use the mirror, but Big Mom's screams are so loud they actually end up shattering that, and that's when Capone comes up with his big plan to transform into Big Father, which definitely reminds me of Pika from the Dressrosa arc. Basically, he's like a giant stone figure, but the actual design of his Big Father form looks really awesome. It's basically a giant old-school medieval castle with cannons all over it. He actually has arms, and he even has his big, giant, distinctive stogie, which I think is really funny and a nice attention to detail. I can't wait to see how powerful he's actually going to be in this form. The fact that he's literally a giant living fortress means he's probably going to be someone you don't want to mess with. That being said, you can definitely still see a lot of fear in Capone's eyes and in his voice when he realizes that their plan to take down Big Mom didn't exactly work. So what's the rundown on this week's chapter of One Piece? They're still keeping the whole thing about the kids and Mother Caramel a mystery. I'd say it's pretty obvious that Big Mom did devour all of them, especially considering that right after that moment, she is using the Surasuru no Mi. She is utilizing the abilities that Mother Caramel had and the ones that will eventually become hers. she's just completely unaware as to how all of this went down, because apparently in her rage and in her emotions, she just devoured every single thing in sight. And they make it clear that something very horrific happened here. Like, these kids didn't just run off and Mother Caramel ran away. Something really, like, messed up happened here. It was essentially just a giant massacre. And I can't wait to see how this is all going to be revealed. I'm guessing as the next couple chapters are going to go on, they're going to sort of trickle out that information while this big battle is going on. We have to remember that they're not just fighting against Big Mom. There's still all of her family. There's still Katakuri there. There's still Smoothie, the other members of the Big Mom crew. And we're probably going to be dividing these characters up as they're all getting ready to have this big battle on Whole Cake Island, while Capone himself has to throw down with some even bigger opponents. I can't wait to see more of his abilities as well. It was just very exciting to see that at the very end of the chapter. In fact, I was a little confused at the end of the chapter. I didn't realize at first that that was actually Capone who was utilizing those abilities. I thought maybe there was another member of Big Mom's crew who went by the name of Big Father, who might have actually been one of the fathers of many of the children. But no, it is Capone. You get to see that in an act of desperation. He's trying to get everybody to go inside of the fortress as he defends all of them. The dead giveaway, of course, was the giant stone stogie, which, like I said, little touches like that is what I really love about this series. It manages to have a good sense of humor, despite the fact that all this weird and crazy shit is going on. This was a really informative chapter, too, especially about the formation of the Big Mom Pirates. The fact that Sen has actually been there a long time, and he's been living just as long as Big Mom, and his powers are very unique. Like I said, he's sort of the perfect companion for Big Mom, because he can turn anything into food. And I'm really interested to see how far that can go. Like, can he only do that with meat? Can he transform things into vegetables, into fruits, into sweets? If that's possible, why the hell can he not just create anything from anything? Or maybe it's just specific ingredients that he's able to create. Still, it's a nice little touch, and he seems like kind of a weird, freaky-ass character, which honestly makes sense. And in many ways, Sen might have actually been very instrumental for turning Big Mom into the evil person that she is today, as he really enjoyed seeing all of those horrific acts, so he could have been the catalyst that set off the Big Mom bomb. As for the whole thing with the KK launchers not working against Big Mom, I mean, everything was going way too well in the beginning of the plan anyway. I mean, there was a good chance that was not going to work, but the fact that it was just Big Mom's screams that completely negated all of those effects, that's pretty extreme. And we also have to remember that she was incredibly powerful as like a 5- and 6-year-old. Now that she's like, I wouldn't say in her prime, but she's definitely a lot older, I can only imagine the things that she's going to be capable of, and I can't wait to see who it is that's actually going to be the one to take her down. It's almost certainly going to be Luffy himself, but I have a feeling he's going to need a lot of help from his friends, maybe even from Capone himself, considering that he's going to need someone big and bulky to take down this very large and very pissed off woman. And on the technical side of things, this was a very visually stimulating chapter. There were a lot of great panels in this one. I especially loved getting to see the early days of the Big Mom Pirates, with her, with Prometheus and Zeus on either side as she's destroying all of these villages, wearing a hat which is very similar to a straw hat, by the way. Maybe she was also influenced by Goldie Roger as well. But just getting to see her go on her creepy rampages and beginning to form her empire honestly sends a chill down my spine, and it makes it for an incredible read. This was a fantastic chapter of One Piece. I loved it from beginning to end. I especially loved Capone's transformation into a giant living castle. It's just plain awesome, and I cannot wait to see some of the action in the next couple of chapters, as well as getting to learn really what happened to the kids and Mother Caramel. Like I said, everybody seems to be in the same boat, that they were devoured alive, and that is going to bring some new interesting things to the series, because I've heard some ridiculous theories over the last couple weeks when we started learning about this. The fact that Blackbeard might have actually devoured like something from Whitebeard in order to gain his powers. That's what he was actually doing behind the curtains. I mean, he clearly, I don't think, ate his entire body, but like there might be some sort of weird secret to actually gaining the devil fruit power of someone if you actually devour something from their body, whether that be something just random or maybe an organ like their heart or something. It's very strange and it's very vague, and honestly it's sort of shaking up the entire concept of how devil fruits work and how they're activated in the series. and that's a pretty interesting prospect for something this late into the game, and I'm sure it's going to get a lot of people talking. That and this was just an entertaining as hell chapter, so I'm dropping a 5 out of 5 on this one. It's got big castlemen in it, it's got cool backstory, and lots of great explosive action. Let's get excited, guys. If any of you guys did read this week's chapter of One Piece, I would love to hear your thoughts about it, and you can tell me in the comments section below. Do you have any other theories as to what could have happened to the children and Mother Caramel outside of Big Mom simply devouring them? How did she actually get that devil fruit power? Did you enjoy seeing the origins of the Big Mom pirates? And what is Capone going to do in his massive Big Father form? What do you hope to see from the rest of the Whole Cake Island arc? Thank you guys for watching this review. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for all things One Piece anime and manga related. Please leave me a comment telling me what you thought about this week's chapter, or if there's something you want to talk with me about. If you have any questions, I'm always down for a good conversation. If you like this video, please smack that like button. But if you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, stay dander, baby.